For me, coming up in Memphis, I was born in Dixie homes, raised in South Memphis. I come from a very, very poor environment. Went off to the military, came back, started my first business, which was a wholesale distributorship of medical supplies. I started that in my mom's garage. I have captured over the last 31 years 3 different businesses, the hard knot life of being a part of an interracial marriage, raising interracial kids, essentially those issues that are troubling to Memphians, those issues that have been holding Memphis back. I've had to endure those challenges throughout my life, and I honestly believe, based on the success I've been blessed to have, I have a good feel for what it takes to get around, get over, however you might want to describe it, but deal with those issues and deal with them in a progressive way, a positive way that ends up with everybody being in a win-win posture. That's kind of my thought process around those challenges. Again, as I look at Memphis, I see Memphis facing a lot of those challenges. Historically, our leaders hadn't dealt with those challenges. They overlooked them. They tried to sidestep them. They tried to create a basic, be brilliant at the basics. That doesn't work. That doesn't get you to a totally different level where you start to see growth, where you start to see people develop hope for themselves, for their families, in the environment around them. Taking the simple, quick response, taking the posture of ignoring the real troubles of the community, it leads us where we are. That's why I'm running for mayor. I believe I have what it takes, not only from a creativity perspective, from a vision opportunity, from that individual who's strong enough to stand up to make the tough calls. And at the same time, bring people together. When you think about those 3 businesses that I've started, when you think about the not-for-profits endeavors that I've been a part of throughout this community, it's all about bringing people together. And we've been able to do that well for the last 33 years. And that, again, is a talent trait that I believe I bring to the mayor's office. I don't think there's anything that I have learned that I didn't know. What I would submit to you, what I've learned, is that there are truly people who care. Memphians really do care. Beyond just the fussing and complaining about this being a city that doesn't do this being a city that doesn't do that. Memphians really do care about this city, and they really do want to have that leadership that gives them some direction. They're waiting. They're desperate to be involved. They're looking for that charge from the leader to become engaged. And that's what the gist of our campaign is going to be about. How we create collaboration among the stakeholders, how do we engage the community as a whole to become a part of answering a lot of the concerns that they, as Memphians, have and are ready to address. That has been a learning experience for me. I have the trait of being able to listen well. I don't do a whole lot of talking, Joe. I do more listening than I do talking. And I can take what I've heard and decipher it into a concept. I have the vision for what I believe would be successful and has worked well, not only in the not-for-profit community, but my vision has worked well in the business community. I think my ability to hold people responsible and accountable and to create efficiency are the traits that I bring to the mayor's office. And those just happen to be traits of a businessman, someone who's been in business 30 plus years. That would have to be the everyday person who gets up every day trying to figure out how to make life work, how to make ends meet. Those who have a desire to see a better life for them and their family. Those are people who I find encouraging. And those are the people who I look up to the most. Those who start from the bottom and are capable of bringing themselves up, kind of like I did, to come from a humble beginning and still have those hopes, still have those dreams, and figure out in this tough society how to make those things a reality. are worthy of my praise. And those are the type of people who I find myself looking up to. First on my list is we will convene a crime summit, because I truly believe crime is a major issue that's not only challenging Memphians from a physical perspective with the violent crimes that we're enduring. It's challenging us from a monetary perspective with the property thefts that we're experiencing. However, I believe that we are truly missing an opportunity by not communicating better with one another. This crime summit that I will call for within my first 100 days will bring the brightest minds locally and nationally to the table to talk about strategies that have been working successfully in other parts of the country that we can implement here in Memphis. The major point, beyond just bringing those ideas to the table, will be the notion of convening our local stakeholders. You got a lot of them. For example, Crime Commission. The Crime Commission has over 50 people serving on this board, from the mayors of both municipalities to community leaders, so on and so forth. We're not talking honestly and openly to one another. The mayor's not talking to the DA, he's talking at the DA to the media. County mayor is not talking to the city mayor on a regular basis about how do we team up to go after this crime issue. There's a lot of finger pointing between the judges, between juvenile court, but there's not a lot of sitting at the same table and talking. That's what we're going to do within our first 100 days, is convene a crime summit whereby we bring the brightest and smartest to the table to have open conversations about collaboration that can bring reality strategies to the table that would help us alleviate some of this crime. The biggest part of all of this crime summit conversation is that at the end of the day, I think we're going to be able to walk away not only with some strategies, but we're going to be able to walk away with communication strategies as to how we as leaders be able to convey to Memphians that it's going to be okay, that we now will grab a hold to these issues and we will be as assertive as we need to be around putting crime to a halt. We will be as assertive as we need to be when it comes to holding those criminals responsible for their charges. We are going to be able to send out a totally different message about how we as the new mayor, the new leader of this city of Memphis, is there for you. We're going to keep you involved, we're going to keep you abreast of all that we do, and we're going to ask for your involvement too. Again, engagement of the community is the way we're going to win. We're going to revitalize neighborhood watches. We're going to do all that we possibly can to increase the participation around Crime Stoppers. Those are the type of things that we're going to be asking for of our constituents. There's 4 things, Joe, actually, within the first 100 days that we want to put out to the public. And we're looking to do this through a contract with Memphians. Crime is one of them. Workforce and economic development is 2. Early childhood education is 3. And community redevelopment is 4. Those are going to be 4 points to our contract with Memphians that we're going to address within the first 100 days.